Hello everyone, grab you a cup of coffee, sit back, we got some updates. Alright, as you can see, we took the beautiful 50th anniversary out for a drive. I don't have the tag issue resolved yet. I'm basically just waiting on, like I said, my finance company has to mail the title in so they can reissue a new one and I can get my tags. But I have to take her out, man. I've been moving her in and out of the garage so many times. It's so carboned up that actually when I pulled it out of the garage, there was like these loud snaps and crackles. If I would have known I was going to do it, I would have recorded it. But the problem is with the Pro Charger and that, I have to run a lot hotter plug. They really don't like idling for long periods. So all the in and out, this thing was really starting to run rough. So I really need to get her up to temperature and burn that off. So that being said, let's get into the updates. First, I want to give a big congratulations to my good friend and fellow YouTuber up in Canada, Top Hat Plus. He just landed a brand new job as a salesman at a Chevy dealer. So if you're like in or around the Ontario area, check out his channel, look him up. If you need a Chevy, get in touch with him. Probably if you need any other car, used cars, because all dealers have used lots too. So yeah, congratulations to him. He's finally busting out of the family business, something he's grown up in and around. He's never worked like outside of the family group. So you can imagine, most likely working with family day in, day out, gets a little bit old after a while, and it's time, you know, he branches out and gets onto his own footing, as we're saying. So the product review and giveaway, there was a slight communication between me and the company. I totally misunderstood what they were saying. Basically, they gave me a coupon code to go ahead and order on Amazon, and the coupon made it free, but I ordered 2 of them, and so then I ended up asking them email, what's the hold up on the shipment? So when they checked into it, they were like, oh, you ordered 2 products. That's not the way it's supposed to work. That I was only supposed to order 1, and then when I do the giveaway, I'll give them the name and address and that of the winner, and they'll mail it out directly. So I had to cancel the order, and now it's been all resubmitted. So little hiccup on my end with that. 2, I got another product somebody wants me to review. It's on the way, so it's just gonna be a review. It's kind of nice that I'm starting to get a little bit more things thrown at me to review, so that's pretty cool. The channel's growing. Thank you everybody for sharing, subscribing, and all that stuff. It really helps boost us up and helps us grow. So if you haven't, make sure you do that. Number 3, the company I got the brake kit from, I reached out to him about the studs, because I figured he knew best. He put them together. I told him the situation that I got about 5 turns on those lugs, and what he recommended, he told me that the next size up is actually a bigger lug nut, and that the whole hub has to be drilled and redone. And he said best bet is to actually just take everything off and just mail him the hubs so he can re-drill them and mount them, because of the way that's been modified, you risk cracking it. So now I have to really consider if I probably need to. It's a safety thing, but damn, I really don't want to take all that apart and then have the car down for how long with the hubs being mailed out, but I'm probably gonna have to do that. So that's where we are with that. Next thing I got with the tuner, because I mentioned before that the 91 Z28 uses an old style computer. It uses an EEPROM chip. It's not like this Camaro where a tuner comes in with a laptop, programs everything, hits send, and it's in the computer. Those cars, you need somebody that has a prom burner and knows how to work with that computer system. Kind of like this one. I couldn't find anybody local that knew how to tune the LT1. A lot of people know how to do the LS's, not so much the LT1. So that's why I went to Houston and got this one tuned. So I talked to him, and he really wasn't a fan of some of the products I was looking at. He said I'd probably be limiting the car to about 5,000 RPM as far as making power, and he recommends some parts which would bring the car up over 6,000 to 6,200 RPM with his recommended parts. And he said I'd be making making in the territory like LS power. So really consider going that route, because at the end of the day, I really want this car to make power. I want to kind of hurt some feelings. I want somebody to be like, oh, it's an old Camaro, you know, da-da-da. And no, I want to be able to put my foot down and be able to, like, you know, give them a little rude awakening and get that win for the car. So I'm looking at that route, but I definitely need to make my mind up this weekend and go ahead and get the parts order so we can get into that car. Next, suspension. I found a company that has some stuff that I really liked. I reached out to them in an email, asked if they'd like to work with me, and other stuff. I haven't heard back from them, so I'm probably gonna have to bite the bullet then and go ahead and order the part, because suspension really is what I want to get on to next, as far as getting everything situated and dialed in. I'd really rather do that and work on the alignment before I end up putting a bunch of power into this car and stuff like that. So I tried to reach out to him. I haven't heard back, so I am on works with the suspension. I'll probably just reach out to him and just end up going ahead and work. Like I said, I tried to see if they wouldn't work with me with a product endorsement, but I have not heard from them. So, and I need to turn around. It's starting to get a little drizzle. Thing's not 1,000 horsepower, but damn, it's scary. Whew, man, I'll tell you what. And I know this thing is so much more faster and powerful than the 91, but there's something about that 91, the looks, and maybe it's just the old memories I have of having like two of those third gens, man. I love that car. Oh, she's gorgeous. I cannot wait. Like I said, working on getting her lowered down. There's a product I think it's going to work. Kind of makes the suspension more adjustable, the route I'm looking, because if I go IBOC or B&K or whatever, I'm bad with it. If I go with a set spring rate, my problem is, what I'm worried about is if it lowers it down too much and those tires hit, because they're still kicked out a little bit. So I want to have a way that maybe I can dial that in to where if it's rubbing, I can add a little more spring to it. So I'm looking at that route. So got a lot of stuff in works. So it's been a slow process. And now I know why bigger car channels all have multiple cars, because as you're working on one car, when you need parts and stuff like that, then you're kind of at a standstill, which is kind of where I'm at with everything. Although I do have the GTO, which I really do need to bring around, get that lower A-arm off, get the bearing put on right, make sure it's safe. And I'm probably going to go ahead and visit that this week or next week, because I really don't have any parts to put on the 91. So I think we need to go ahead and visit the GTO. And damn, it's starting to rain. I wasn't looking for that to happen. Looking at exhaust systems, I'm still a little bit torn on what exactly I should do as far as the exhaust. I know I'm going to definitely do like a shorty header. Full length headers just create all kinds of problems on that car. They're too low. They're going to come down underneath. And that's one thing that the third gen Camaros, anybody that's had one or has one right now knows. Ground clearance really isn't a luxury underneath that car. It's like they never designed it with any type of provisions for exhaust routing. It's one of the worst setups in the world for an exhaust. So it's really hard to pick a good exhaust system. I'm really just thinking about probably the best route, the easiest route. It's just going to be go ahead, order the shorty headers, and then bring the car to an exhaust shop local and just have them bend the entire system from scratch. Just do like about a 3-inch pipe all the way underneath there, because doing duals really isn't an option. It's been done, but especially if you have it custom made. If I need to drop the drive shaft or do anything else later on, that's going to be a big hassle, because basically the way you do is you run 2 pipes and they'll be like under into the dry shaft area, because it's really the only clearance spot that you can actually shove a pair of pipes. don't want to do that. I could do a 3-inch and snake it around the factory routing without too many problems, which is another reason like I can't lower the car too bad, because I want it to be drivable. I don't want to be sending sparks everywhere I go. Okay. So I apologize for really having any content all week. I should have made something on Wednesday. I had a few doctor's appointments again this week. Kind of surprised something else going on. Long story short, when I got up to New York, I had excruciating pain in my knees. My legs hurt, felt very weak. When I got home, had a doctor look at it. He was kind of worried that there might be some kind of blood clot. He says it's kind of common when you sit down for long periods of time. So I've had the doctor's appointment. I went for an ultrasound. Still haven't heard anything. Fingers crossed that there's nothing there. I don't need something like that breaking loose, because man, that's just bad. That's really, really bad. He said if there is something, I'll have to be on blood thinners for a while. But my legs, the swelling has gone down. My knees are still hurting really bad. So I really haven't had time, or like really the motion to be able to do much on the cars. It was like excruciating just to get the wheels off the car, to get the spacers on there. I never mentioned it in that video, but it hurt pretty bad. But I just really wanted to get that done. So anyhow, yeah. And then that I really got to shed some weight. I've been to the gym 4 times actually this week, so yeah, good job for me. But it's really messed up my whole sleep schedule. But then that really doesn't matter, because I haven't really had anything to work on. I could have, and I should have brought the GTO around. I really just need to pull the A-arm off and get that worked on. So that's gonna be next. I really need to figure out what all that damn noise is coming out of the back of that car. So yeah, I think that's probably all the updates. I really hate talking that much and not having a lot of action behind it. So people have mentioned before they want more car stuff in the videos. So I went ahead and pulled the 50 out. I need to go ahead and get these plugs heated up and blowing off. And oh my God, wow. I'm gonna put my head back. The newer cars, like the 91, if you try to lean back, the headrest is like in the back seat. So that's why if you ever get rear-ended and something like that, you'll end up like hurting your neck really bad, because you're like, We're here if you get hit, you know. Big difference between newer and older cars, but I still love that 91, man. I still just absolutely love that car. Love this one too. Still debating on the ZL1 though, but man, I got so many people that own 50s. That subscribe and like the channel because I actually own a car similar to theirs. We all have that 50th. I really do like that ZL1. I want at least one car to stick. I mean, the 91 was a little bit different. That car I really didn't want to stick, because you couldn't get a 350 in a stick, and I really just wanted to have at least the 350 engine block. I wanted all that in place. And then even if I did buy a 305 to stick and I wanted to do modifications, the transmission would be one of the first things that would have to go. I would have to immediately start getting into a different transmission. I don't really know enough about what would fit and what would be strong enough, or those older transmissions could be rebuilt to be made stronger. So for that car, I did one straight up and really just wanted the 350 with the 2-port. Plus, when they get that old, finding something that's clean and in that good a shape, kind of take what you can get. So alright, I guess I've done enough talking, enough updates. Like I said, I'm gonna spend the weekend, finalize everything one way or another. I'm gonna pull the string and get some stuff done. Also, damn, also, I do have a lot that needs to happen. I do need to get the SS out. I do need to get that painted. I had the material. I do need to get my seat fixed. I do want to go ahead and get the 91 dynoed before I do any engine modifications whatsoever. I do think I need to take the G-Tech out and maybe do a couple little runs, kind of get a baseline for where I'm at. I know what this will do in the 8th mile officially, but I haven't been able to get to a 1/4 mile, so I think maybe we need to do a little midnight run to Mexico and figure it out. Same thing with the 91. I mean, I kind of know I expect it to be about a 14-second car, nothing that ground shattering, but we need to go take it out, just get like some base figures and see, seeing how I have the equipment. So I've rambled on long enough. I got plenty of work to do. I just, man, you know, like I said, going to the gym's kind of throwing off my whole sleep schedule. For some reason, I don't have much energy to do a lot, but we'll get through it, sorted out, and we're going to get a lot of stuff done, and we're going to grow this channel. We're going to get more cars, a garage, and we're on to great stuff. So let me go ahead and enjoy a little bit of the drive without having to talk.